This lesson is on rational expressions. When we say rational, these are values that are expressed as fractions. We have 2y over y squared plus 6y. It's a rational expression. Obviously, we've got a fraction. The lesson is to simplify the fractions, and we will be multiplying and dividing fractions in this video. 2y over y squared plus 6y. We need to cancel out variables and numbers that we can divide if they are common with some values and some variables. In this case, we need to factor out so that we can see which numbers and variables are common. 2y cannot be factored, so it remains 2y. But y squared plus 6y can be factored out as y plus 6. Because you've got a squared y here and a y here, the y is common between these two terms. So the factor of y squared plus 6y is y, open parenthesis, y plus 6, close parenthesis. Now, if you notice, the y in the numerator is common with the y in the denominator. Thereby, we can cancel out the y, the two y's here, and so the y's in the numerator and the denominator are canceled out. We are left with the 2 over y plus 6, which gives us the 2 over y plus 6. We cannot factor this anymore. We cannot divide or reduce this anymore. So the final answer is 2 over y plus 6. Because it's a fraction, we need to understand that there is some restriction with fractions. And what is that? No zero in the denominator. This denominator y plus 6 cannot be 0 because you cannot divide any number by 0. So because of that, we cannot have a 0 in the denominator. So y as a restriction cannot be a negative 6, because when y is negative 6, it makes a 0 with a positive 6. Let's have two more examples. 7x minus 28 divided by x squared minus 16, x squared plus 13x plus 40 divided by x squared minus 2x minus 35. The cue is to factor the polynomials so that we can find common values and common factors which we can cancel out. Let us factor 7x minus 28. The common factor between 7 and 28 is 7. So we can have 7 outside and x minus 4 inside. So you've got the 7 outside and x minus 4 inside the brackets. The denominator is x squared minus 16. If you notice, this is a difference of two squares. We learned before that when we have a difference of two squares, we can have two binomials with the square root of this number, which is minus 16. So you're getting an x plus 4 and x minus 4. If you look at this rational expression, you would notice that x minus 4 in the numerator is common with x minus 4. So we can cancel this out. So when we cancel out the x minus 4 with x minus 4, we are left with 7 over x plus 4. So the answer will be 7 over x plus 4. Again, we cannot reduce this anymore, so this is the final answer. The restriction with fractions, no 0 in the denominator. So the denominator cannot be 0, thereby x cannot be negative 4. Now let's work with this third example. This is a trinomial. So as a trinomial, we know that we can factor this out as two binomials. Factor of 40 would be 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 1, 5 and 8. So these are some of the factors which we can work on to check if it works with 13. 5 and 8 will work with 13. So we will have those factors. X plus 5, x plus 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 plus 8 is 13. Yes, these are the factors of this trinomial. Now the factor of this, factors of 35 would be 1 and 35 and 5 and 7. 5 and 7 will work with the 2 here. So We will have these factors as x plus 5, x minus 7. 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. 5 plus negative 7 is a negative 2. Yes, these are the factors of this denominator. So again, 5 plus x plus 5 is common with x plus 5 in the denominator. Thereby, we can cancel this. So if we cancel these two, we are left with x plus 8, x minus 7, and that will lead us to the final answer because we cannot reduce this anymore. Again, going back to restrictions with fractions, no 0 in the denominator. So because we've got an x minus 7, x cannot be a negative 7. This time, we will multiply rational expressions. We are given 3x cubed over x squared minus 25 multiplied by x squared plus 6x plus 5 over x squared. We have two sets of rational expressions and we are multiplying them. So the key here again is to factor out the polynomials and see common factors, values, and numbers to cancel. So this is how we'll do it. We factor 3x cubed. Well, you can do it as 3 and then write 3x's. The 3x's can mean the 3x here. We factor this out. This is a difference of two squares. With the 25 square root will be a 5. So we're getting an x plus 5 and x minus 5. This trinomial has a 5. The factors of 5 are just 1 and 5. So we have x plus 1, x plus 5. So to get this, x squared definitely is 2x's. So there you go. So with 3 and x cubed and the 2x's here and the factors here, we can cancel out common variables and the factors. The x plus 5 here can be cancelled out with the x plus 5 in the denominator. The 2x's here can be cancelled out with the 2x's here. So if we have these cancelled values and factors, we are left out with 3x, x plus 1, and x minus 5. With that cancellations, we get 3x over x minus 5 times x plus 1. Working on this, we have 3x multiplied by this numerator x plus 1 over x minus 5. This is the final answer. Otherwise, we would like to work it out as 3x squared plus 3. The 3x multiplies the x and the 1 inside, so we're getting this. Restriction-wise, x, the denominator cannot be 0, so this x cannot be a positive 5. Let's have another example. Y squared minus 2y over y squared plus 7y minus 18 multiplied by y squared minus 81 over y squared minus 11y plus 18. Again, we need to factor out all these polynomials. Y is common factor. So we have y multiplied by y minus 2. This is a trinomial with the 18. We can think of 1, 18, 2, 9, 3, 6, 4 factors. But we need to think of the 7. So we will end up with y plus 9 minus y times y minus 2. The negative 2 times 9 will give us a negative 18. The 9 plus negative 2 will give us a 7. So this is the correct factors of the given trinomial. This is a difference of two squares with 81. The square root of 81 is 9. So we will be getting a y plus 9, y minus 9. Again, we've got 18 here with the same factors, but we've got negative 11. So we work out with y minus 9 times y minus 2. Let's check it out. Minus 9 times minus 2 is positive 18. Negative 9 plus negative 2 is negative 11. So these are the factors. Now that we have factors, we check for common factors or values. This y plus 9 is common with this y plus 9. So that would be cancelled out. This y plus 2 is common with this y plus 2. So they're cancelled out. This y plus 9 minus 9 is common with y minus 9 in the denominator. So we are left with y over y minus 2. So removing those signs, we have a y over y minus 2. We've understood this answer because of the cancellations we did. Now with restrictions, the denominator cannot be 0, so y cannot be positive 2. This time we're dividing rational expressions. We have 7x to the fourth power over 24y divided by 21x cubed over 12y squared. To do this is to change the division to multiplication and to switch the position of the numerator and the denominator of the second term and then go on with multiplication. So we change the division to multiplication. We are not changing the first set of terms, but we'll be switching the position of the second terms, which is 21x cubed will go down and 12y squared will go up. The 21x cubed now the denominator, the 12y squared now the numerator. Then we can proceed with multiplication. So with multiplication, as we learned a while ago, we can just cancel out values that are common, numbers that are divisible by a common factor, and there you go. Now 7x4 can be written as 7 with 4 x's. The 12y squared can be written as 12 and 2 y's. The x cubed here can be written as 3 x's here. Thereby with this, we can simply show cancellation by cancelling the 3 x's here, the 3 x's here, the 1y here with the 1y there. Or for those who can think faster, you don't need to do this. You can do, there's a 4 here and there's a 3 here. You can do 4 minus 3 is 1. So you are left with 1x in the numerator. Same thing here. You've got a 2 here for the y. And it's understood to have a 1 here as a power for y. So you do 2 minus 1. You are leaving a 1y in the numerator. So even without doing this, just look at the numbers of the exponents and do subtraction, and there you go. You can have this answer, which is x over 2, y over 3, because the 7 with the 21, the greatest common factor is 7. So 7 divided 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 is 3. That's why you're getting a 3 here. The 12 and 24 can be divided by 12. So 12 by 12 is 1. 24 by 12 is 2. So you're getting an x over 2 times y over 3. So finally, you have an xy over 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. There is no need for the restriction because 6 as a denominator is constant. Let's have the next example. X squared minus 4 over x squared plus 6x plus 9 divided by x squared plus 4x plus 4 over x squared minus 9. So what do? We change the division to multiplication and switch the position of the numerator and the denominator. So we will have the x squared minus 4 as is, the x squared plus 6x plus 9 as is. We change the division to multiplication, and now the switch of these two. So you have x squared over 9 as the numerator and x squared plus 4x plus 4 as the denominator. Then we factor all of these polynomials. This is a difference of two squares. So we have x plus 2, x minus 2. We have a 9 here, which is a 1 times 9 or a 3 times 3. So the 3 times 3 will work because we have a 6 here. These are the factors. Again, x squared minus 9 is a difference of two squares. Square root of 9 is 3. So we're getting an x plus 3, x minus 3. We've got a 4 here. The factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. So we use the 2 and 2 as factors. So one more time. We work with common factors so we can cancel. The x plus 3 here, the x plus 3 here is common with the x plus 3 in the denominator. So that's canceled out. The x plus 2 here is common with the x plus 2 here. So it's canceled out. So there are no more common factors here. We are left with x minus 2 and x minus 3 in the numerator, x plus 3 and x plus 2 in the denominator. So we will be getting this value. And this is the answer. Otherwise, we want to multiply the factors and you'll be getting x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x squared plus 5x plus 6 as a result of the multiplication of these two factors. Restriction-wise, we've got a variable, so therefore we've got plus 3 and plus 2. The denominator can never be 0, so restrictions-wise, x cannot be equal to minus 3 or minus 2.